Okay, carrying on from my previous conversation. I have a friend called Cindy. I'm not going to tell you everything else about her, but she's a bit cool. Anyway, no, she's not. Okay, so I've got a friend called Cindy, and I had a bit of a conversation with her the other week about grounding because she said she'd started therapy. And whenever you start therapy, it does get worse before it gets better because you're dredging through it, you know. But CBT, trauma based CBT, we've got to put the work in. And I just said to her about grounding. And I explained to her the five senses of grounding. You know, how does your feet feel? Take a deep breath in. How does your feet feel? How do your shoes feel? How does your feet feel in your shoes? Do they feel hot? Do they feel itchy? Can you feel your sock around your ankle? You know, can you feel where the bottom of your trousers touch your, you know, and then you go up. Can you feel your waistband on your hips? And this is all you're thinking about. All you're thinking about is this waistband on your hips. Is it tight? Is it loose? And then you go up. Can you feel like the hair on the back of your neck? And then you can go through the next stage. And you can do it in any stage. Taste. What can you taste? See, I have a dry mouth all the time because of the medication I'm on. So whenever I do this one, instead of if I'm annoyed about something, all of a sudden I'm like, oh God, I need a drink. Which I do actually need a drink now. And then you've got to see. You can name 5 objects that you can see. So mine would be wall, chair, floor, bottle, climbing frame. You just say that. And then here. A lot of people prefer the here, the noise one, because you can, once you really get, you can hear far away. Like, what can I hear now? I can hear Daisy. I can hear the wind coming through the window. I can hear the dog. I can hear the birds. And I can hear a distance far away cars. And then you smell. I've got no sense of smell, so I'm not doing it. But that's grounding. And most people tell you to start practicing it. You have to practice it before you can actually, because when you're there, I mean, when you're raging and you can't, you know, your breathing's crazy, your eyes are watering, you're shaking because the adrenaline, you got your flight or fight mode going on. You know how hard it is to think, to ground. It takes a lot. And I can't even stress this enough. That's why most people say that grounding doesn't work. It's simply because it's very hard and you have to keep practicing it. I mean, at my kids' school, before that I started homeschooling them, I was having a discussion, a quite heated discussion, when the head teacher come out and tried explaining something to me, which had already been explained to me by the new head teacher coming. And at that point, I realised I either had to leave the conversation or ground myself, or I was gonna flip out at these women. And all of a sudden, I just put my hands up. I was like, I'm grounded. I'm trying to ground. I'm trying to ground because I couldn't breathe. I physically couldn't let a breath out because I was trying. I knew that I needed to calm down. At that point, I think they thought they was dealing with a crazy person and they just backed the F off. You know what I mean? If anything, just start doing that and they'll back away. But anyway, back to Cindy. I saw her the other day. She was talking to someone and she said, I was in the pub the other night and someone started. And she said, I was getting mad. She said, I was going to, you know, she said I was going to really do some damage. Okay, take it off then. And she said, all I heard, because I was listening to having this conversation, she said, all I heard was Charlotte say, what do your feet feel like? And she said she stopped what she was doing. She looked around because she really did think I was there. And she thought I just shouted to her, how'd your feet feel? And then she said I was really confused then because I started thinking about how my feet felt. She said, so she was there all of a sudden about to kick off. And then she just stood there in the middle of this pub, grounding. And she said she must have looked like an absolute mental case. And I said to her, and that was the first time she ever tried to ground was when she was there. Okay. And I said to her, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing that you can do that. So, again, I don't know what I'm meant to do. I know that, I'm homeschooling my kids because the school system is shocking, and we're not even going to talk about that today. But yeah, so I thought that was really nice, and it was encouraging for me to hear as well, because I've got another friend, Katie, that I've helped with her PTSD, but hers was like, she's had hers for like 20 years, and never spoke about it. Never spoke about it, and until she spoke to me, because I always thought like, whoa, she's like so strong with everything that she's been through, like 20 something plus operations, all kinds of malarkey. And I thought, wow, she's probably strong as she is. And then it's like, well, it turns out she's strong, don't get me wrong, she's mega strong. But you don't know what people are feeling. And now, me personally, I don't think I will ever judge anyone ever again, because somebody could look perfectly fine. It's like to say they am. Do you know what I mean? The brain is such a complex. I mean, my husband, my psychiatrist, when I first spoke to her, when I was first given to her, she explained to me that all the trauma that I've had, my husband would have had it worse. And that kind of blew me away at first. I think I'm gonna save this discussion for when I just talk about men's mental health, because I don't want to talk about this at the end of a video and people not get to see the men's mental health video. Because I think that's the most important thing at the moment is men and their mental health, and being able to talk about it. Because they don't talk about it, and maybe it's just that. I don't know why, but I do know why. But I think it's something that needs to be addressed. Big time. Big time. Anyway, again, sorry for the long ass video about me talking malarkey. Okay? And bye. If you heard that is if you hear Daisy screaming the whole time. Anyway.